We honestly have no. He doesn't drink soda. That's all we know.
We'll figure it out.
So whatever works best. We're not.
Okay, we got two flip-floppers that just come down to the road, and we're getting ready to leave. But I'm gonna talk to them just a minute and get some information. Let them get a soda pop and maybe a cake or a donut or something.
A blessing.
All right, give me your trail name.
I'm Sweet Pea.
Sweet Pea.
And I'm Flash.
Flash, F-L-A-S-H, and
Nice
Sweet
to
Pea, just S-W-E-E-T-P-E-A.
Yep.
Tell me how you got your name, Sweet Pea.
People think I'm really sweet and they like me.
Are you really sweet?
Yeah.
And they like you. You've
That's
got
what
pretty
he says.
eyes.
Thank you.
And what about you, Flash?
I'm Flash because I like to run on the trail. Usually she's ahead of me, so I try to catch up to her by running on the trail.
Did y'all know each other before you started hiking?
Yes.
So you started hiking together as a couple?
We've been dating for 5 years.
Boyfriend, girlfriend. Okay, good deal. Good deal. Are y'all between college and work, or high school and college, or
I just graduated.
from
Georgia State University.
Florida State?
Georgia State University.
Georgia State.
Not
Oh, that'd
exciting.
be a big mistake saying Florida State over Georgia State for sure. And what about you, Sweet Pea?
I have one more semester left of college.
Where?
I go to Oglethorpe University. It's
Where's
smaller.
that?
It's in Atlanta.
Atlanta, Georgia. So y'all just leaving home, getting further and further away from home as you hike toward Katahdin.
Yep.
In our second half, we're going to walk straight home.
You're gonna walk. Hey, well, you're already more than halfway.
That's right.
Going the way you're going. So you're gonna flip-flop back to Harper's Ferry.
Yep.
When do you suppose you'll be back at Harper's Ferry?
August?
Middle August.
Mid-August?
Middle of August.
Yep.
What made you decide to flip-flop instead of doing a traditional northbound?
Well, I mean, so I just graduated, so we couldn't start with the northbound bubble in March. So that made things a little complicated. Also, we don't like snow,
Okay.
so we avoid the snow, which we heard that was a really brutal snowstorm this year, and a lot of people quit from that. So that helped us a lot, thankfully. And then we also don't like black flies, so we didn't want to southbound.
Okay. Sweet Pea, get a little closer to him so I can get you both. Since you're boyfriend girlfriend, you can be together. Now, how long had y'all planned to do this?
Like a year, I think. About a year ago, we went on a weekend hike, and that was what made us really want to do this.
Has it been what you thought it was going to be? No. Okay, tell me about that. I'm glad you said that.
Go ahead. Well, the first day we were stuck in the flood at Harper's Ferry, so we had a
Okay.
really hard first 4 or 5 days in rain. Sleeping in 3 inches of water, it was awful. And like, honestly, we were expecting it to be a little bit worse, but we've been having a lot of fun out here.
Yeah.
And yeah, hospitality has been
Everyone's super
everywhere.
nice, yeah.
People have been taking care of us, and like, it's just the coolest things have been happening to us. You know, we've been getting, people have been taking care of us, bringing us in. We've been getting like, people give us free food, and people are super nice. And we made a good trail family, but we kind of split up recently.
What
But,
trail family?
Well, Twigs is in front of us.
Okay.
And then Chili and Stripper are behind us.
Okay.
We're just all going at different speeds. We're trying to catch up to Twigs, but like, so we had a really good group of friends, and so hopefully we'll find some more. But
How far would Twigs be ahead of you?
Probably 20 miles.
Okay.
Not far.
If we jump far enough, we might could catch Twigs.
Yeah.
So you said you just started, I mean, it only worked for you because of your schooling and all. Would you have rather done from Georgia to Maine if it would have worked better?
I don't think so.
Okay.
so either.
I really don't like the cold and the snow.
Okay.
So flip-flopping is nice. And also, we get to walk back home to Georgia. So
There you
it's
go.
good.
Very good reason. I'm glad you're telling me this because this has been a big year for flip-floppers,
Yeah.
as you well know. There's a big bubble right behind us. And that's made it a little different for the traditional northbounders because they've had the trail all to themselves, and then all of a sudden they can't get a spot in the shelters, because of that. We got a car coming, and we'll just keep talking just a minute. So when do you think you will finish? Do you have an idea if you even looked at October, September, or some November?
Late October, early November is our plan.
That's our
And you
goal.
don't have a date that you have to
Not
be?
a date,
You don't have
Just
to
have
date?
to avoid freezing to death. Yeah.
Are either of you blogging or some way if somebody wanted to find out more about you because they see you on YouTube?
Not really.
Honestly,
Okay.
no.
Not
Okay,
really.
that's good.
Not really,
That's
honestly,
good.
no, yeah. We're just having fun with it. I mean, Instagrams and Facebooks, but
Are you?
Yeah, that's it.
Tell me something like flip-floppers. Do most of them, any of them YouTube or any of them are not as much as the northbounders probably?
I don't know if we met any YouTubers yet. I don't think
Really?
we have. Yeah.
Nope.
And you've met lots of flip-floppers.
We've met a lot of flip-floppers.
Yep.
Are most of them your age or older, or is it a mix?
Truthfully, most of them are our age, I think.
Yeah.
Most of them are our age, the flip-floppers that we've met.
I understand.
Yeah.
I understand.
And no, none of them really have blogs. I mean, everyone, like, we do an email list for our friends and family
Sure,
who supported us. We do
Absolutely.
that. We don't really blog, though. And so, like, honestly, when we talk to all of them, all they do is Instagram or Facebook. That's
Okay,
it.
that's good. That's real good.
That seems like the most popular option.
Now, is it anything north of you right now that you're already looking forward to?
The whites.
The
guess.
whites?
I'm looking for the
Katahdin,
whites.
Yeah.
The whites?
Yeah.
And what about when you go south from Harper's Ferry? Is there anything other than the Smoky Mountains that you already have in your mind?
The 3 peaks in North Virginia are really popular. We've been hearing about them a lot, like Tinker Cliffs,
Yeah.
McAfee
Maccabee Knob.
Yeah, all that.
Yeah, and Dragons too.
and Dragon's Tooth. Yeah, we're
Right.
really excited for those. And honestly, we're taking it to day though.
Yeah.
That's
Because,
good.
like, today everyone says we need to stay at the Goose Pond.
Pond
and
Shelter.
So that's where we're going.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's great.
Apparently,
good.
it's super cool there. Okay.
Yeah, very
Good to
cool.
hear.
And now, what about any place between, and how many miles are you in? About 400 or 500 and something?
5 something.
Early 5s.
Yeah.
Can you tell me your favorite place that you've slept since you've left on Harper's Ferry?
Slept.
It's like a hostel or a motel or
Oh,
in the woods or
Duncannon Assembly of God.
Yeah.
It's like a church. They were super awesome. It's like their basement. They're pretty new and
Okay.
they have a nice shower and
good information.
yeah, they
No
were
charge.
super sweet.
Really?
Nobody
charge.
has ever said that.
Where did you,
That's good.
nobody's ever said that. How did you find out about them?
Word of mouth.
Word of mouth.
Word of mouth. It's not in gut hooks or y'all using gut hooks?
It's not an AWOL or gut hooks, and so they started doing it like a year and a half ago, and then they've gotten more popular now. But they have a whole basement, beautiful basement. They made the whole floor. They made a huge basement just for the hikers, and like
And a shower.
yeah, they have a
Super
beautiful
awesome.
shower. They made just for the hikers. They have like a donation bin, but they say no minimum donation. They just take you in. For us, they cooked and like they were gonna have a cookout the next day. They were begging us to stay. I played board games. The youth pastor for a couple hours.
Oh, wow.
They
Yeah,
were
they were so
super
nice.
sweet.
So give me that again and I'm going to put that under your name so they'll know.
It's called the Duncannon Assembly of God.
Gunton Assembly of God. I'm going to do that. Anybody, either one of you want to say hi to or a word of encouragement or anything else you want to say before we close it out?
We'll see you soon, Twigs.
Do that?
We'll see you soon, Twigs.
Okay.
And honestly, I just hope we meet more people as we go. I mean, honestly, it's a big part of it. You know, like we're just in front of the bubble, so like we see people at shelters, but not big groups of people. So
Yeah,
like,
That's good.
yeah, so it's good, and you know, like so. Hopefully, we don't have any more empty shelters, but we're looking forward to all the people we're gonna meet up ahead.
Sweet Pea, you want to say hello to anybody?
I'll say hi to my family.
That's
and-
good.
Yeah.
I was waiting.
Yeah.
We talk to them every
Hi,
night,
Mom.
though.
That's all right. They'll get to see you live, or not live, but they'll see you on video.
Yeah, awesome.
All right, then God bless every step between here and Katahdin, and thank you for stopping.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Y'all are.
Okay, I've run into somebody that's got a very interesting story. I know my viewers are going to want to hear it. Give us your trail name or your name, because I hadn't even asked you that yet.
My name's Highlander, my trail name.
Islander?
Highlander, yeah.
Okay, spell that and I'll tell you why.
Highlandder.
And why is that your trail name?
Because I'm from the Highlands of Scotland. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to ask you to talk a little louder,
Okay.
and just so they can hear you, I'm going to make sure they hear every word you say. So you are from
Scotland.
Scotland,
Yeah.
and you came over to the United States, and you're not through hiking, but you're hiking from where to where?
I'm hiking from Massachusetts to the end of New Jersey.
Okay, but you have been over to the United States for how long?
Almost a month.
A month?
Yeah.
And what have you been doing over here?
I've been visiting family and just like bussing it over from the west coast to the east coast. Yeah.
From the west to the east coast?
Yeah.
So where did you fly into on the west?
I flied into Los Angeles and I spent about a week there with a family member, and then I was up in Mammoth Lakes, and then I flew to Montana and I got Greyhound buses over to here.
Okay, but you did some work for stay, is what
in
we call it.
Canada. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
tell me about that.
So in March and April I was doing Workaway in Canada with 3 different people. The first was in Halifax on a boat, helping a guy fit it out for the summer sailing.
Now, what did you actually do? Tell me a little bit about what you were doing.
Well, it was pretty cold still, and it was a bit stormy whilst I was there, so we didn't get a massive amount done. But I was helping make cushions for seats and sorting out a heating system to keep the place warm at night, and yeah, I just helped him out with sort of.
And how long
his
did you help him?
paperwork and stuff. I was with him for almost a week, I think.
Now, when you do that, were you getting paid or just a place to stay, or how's all that work?
I was getting free bed and board. So
Bed and board.
That's how it worked. Yeah.
And was that a pretty place?
Yeah, it was a pretty nice place. It was very cold, but it was very good. Yeah.
And then where did you go from there?
I went up to Cape Breton, which is called the Highlands of Nova Scotia, which is nice to be at home from home. And I helped a man build a shed. It was very snowy there, so I did some snowshoeing, which was quite cool. Yeah, I just helped him fit out his house for the summer season as well.
So you were handing him boards or a hammer or stuff like that?
Well,
or?
He'd built a lot of the shed already, so I was helping him put boards on the outside, and we were both hammering.
Had you done that before?
I've helped build a shed before, so I had some experience of that. So
And you're 20 years old?
I'm 20 years old, yeah.
Wow. And then from that job, what did you go do?
I went to a place near Halifax called Waverley,
Mm-hmm.
and I stayed with a lovely lady there who had 2 workaways already, so there was a few of us there, which was really nice. And I helped her with odd projects around the house and stuff, and then she travels a lot, so I house sat for her for a month and looked after her dog and her cats and different things. And that was a really fun way to meet some new people.
And then you knew at that point that you were going to be hiking after you left her, or what?
I was going to go straight to New Zealand after that to see a friend and travel around with her for a month. And I knew that after that I was going to be doing that.
So you went to New Zealand?
Yeah, I did.
And you traveled for a month?
Yeah, we rented a car and we tried to see as much of the country as we could, and I think we did pretty well. We just missed the very south and I missed the very north.
And we left her pack with, I believe, across the road here because it was so busy. We wanted to make sure you could hear everything she said. And I'll try to film her pack when we get back, because you told me you've been living out of the pack like a suitcase.
Yeah, basically.
That's basically your suitcase.
Yeah, I haven't had any other bags with me. That's the one bag. Yeah.
And so after you went to New Zealand, then you came back over here.
Yeah, to the west coast.
And you flew into where?
I flew into Los Angeles to LAX.
And then how'd you get back over here then?
I flew from LAX to Bozeman in Montana, and then I got Greyhound buses over. I nipped up over the border to see Niagara Falls from the Canadian side, but other than that I've just been getting over on the buses.
So when you started hiking a few days ago, right?
Yeah. So
did you know 4 months ago what day you were going to start hiking?
no, not exactly.
When did you know what day you was going to start hiking?
About a day before I started hiking.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you're hiking by yourself.
Yeah.
I know your mother's worried, or you've been in the woods, but it's very safe out here, especially for a young woman, because the hikers even take care of each other.
Yeah, they've been really kind.
They're very kind.
It's been really nice.
You actually said you hiked today with a ridge runner.
Yeah, today and yesterday I hiked with Bambi, the
A lady
Massachusetts
ridge runner, so they've got
Yeah.
several of those. What's been the most interesting part of being over here in the woods in the United States, hiking the trail?
I don't know. Seeing the different type of wildlife, because it's a lot of the woods look very similar because I come from a wooded area, but it's nice to see the differences, like what is not the same. A lot of the wildlife isn't the same, so that's nice to see.
And you hike very much back home?
A little bit, but not as much as this. This is the first big.
And now these hills are pretty hard, and you told me it's not been that hard for you.
I've not been doing too much.
No miles,
every
no big
day,
miles.
But, yeah, I just take my time and have a look around when I get tired.
You're going to Upper Goose Mound Cabin tonight, where there's a pond and a canoe, and they feed you pancakes.
I'm excited.
So you're looking forward to that.
Yeah.
How many miles from here is it to where you will complete your trail? Do you know?
I think.
Your Delaware Water Gap, is that what you said?
Yeah, so I think overall I'm meant to be doing about 300 miles.
300 miles.
And I've done 5 days, maybe nearly 40 miles.
Okay.
So I've still got
260 miles or so to go.
Yeah.
And do you have to be through by a certain time? Do you have a date you got to fly out by?
I do. I have to be done by the 23rd of July.
Okay.
And there I'm meeting my two sisters in New York City. They're flying in for the week, so that's what my end point is.
Is that your older sisters?
My older sister and my younger sister.
Yeah. Do you smile all the time?
Not all the time, but I'm happy right now.
When you sleep, you don't smile?
No.
Oh, that's great. Other family members other than your sisters and your parents?
No, just cousins. And
Cousins,
aunties
yeah,
and
sure,
uncles
sure.
And stuff.
And what does your dad think about your hiking?
I think he's excited for me. I think he's nervous, as any parent would be. But I think he's okay.
I'm amazed. A 20-year-old girl from Scotland I'm talking to, independent enough, strong enough to come over here and have such a good time.
Yeah, I'm having an amazing time.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
I want to be a writer.
A writer?
Yeah, an author.
Okay,
Yeah.
an author?
And we have a traditional farming tradition in Scotland called crofting. So I'd like to have a croft and be as self-sufficient as possible, basically. That's my plan.
Do you have any way that people could watch your life, or do you, kids nowadays I know do Instagram, Facebook, all that kind of stuff. Anybody to
No,
follow you? No?
I actually only have Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah,
And do you have a boyfriend?
but not at the moment.
Not at the moment.
No.
Okay, now that's my problem. All these guys are going to be calling me or texting me, how do I get a hold of her? I can just tell them go to Scotland and look for you.
Maybe.
Thank you so much for taking a few minutes and talking with us. Anything else you want to say, or hi out to mom or somebody before we close out?
Yeah, I'd love to say hi to all my family, to mom and dad and Caitlin and Kira, and I guess my aunties and uncles, Richard, Mary, Ross and Anna too, and my auntie Jackie, can't forget her. And that's it, really. Thank you for interviewing me.
Well, thank you again, and God bless every step you take between here and Watergap.
Oh, thank you.